Hey, I am about to do a tutorial at Cozy Melts. If you want to follow along, these are products that you can use when you come in. These are silk screens, so you get really crisp designs without bleeding like you would get from stencils with like the plastic and then the gaping hole. These are like a silk screen mesh, so they end up looking really crisp after you add them on. And these are kind of a fun thing that we offer. You get like a blank ornament. There's a couple different styles to choose from. We carry these, so sometimes we have these designs in stock and sometimes we have other designs in stock, but a lot of them line up perfectly with whatever item it is that you're doing. So we have like a different snowman that would line up with that one, and then like a Santa. So these are really cute. And I'm just gonna demo how easy they are to use, because I think in the excitement of picking your pottery and your colors that some people don't even realize the tools that we have. We try to explain that in our process, but it's a lot of information and sometimes it can just go unnoticed that we have some additional tools for inspiration. So I'm gonna just show off the silk screen process. I might add like a little snowflake to his hat with this stamp that I have, and I'll show you a little bit about how you can additionally color over top of these. So when I'm using a silk screen, you're gonna want a lighter base color. So you're gonna want to base coat with a lighter color than you're doing your silk screen. So for this instance, I chose white, and now I'm going to do my lines in black. So when you're here, you just pick from our chart because they do look different the day that you paint versus after they've been fired. So I'm gonna get a little black in here. This is a process that we will demonstrate for you when you come in if you've never done it. If you are experienced or you watch this video and you feel like you got this, then you can just ask for the supplies and we'll just help you as you need help. But I'm gonna add my powder. This powder just thickens the glaze enough to where it doesn't run and create like a lot of like fuzzy edges on my image. So I'm just gonna stir this in. You're going for like similar to brownie mix is what's recommended, but I feel like that can be kind of hard to gauge. So I just kind of add a little bit at a time until I get the right consistency, something kind of chunky. We have a lot of these silk screens. Super passion of mine is to just buy a bunch of silk screens because I love all of them. I have some really cute ones coming up for spring, but we have so many in stock, like literally hundreds. So, okay, so I might have just taken it a smidge too far, but we're gonna give that a try. And I did not bring a cup of water over here. So I'll just put that there. Okay, and then I'm going to take my finger and I'm gonna get a little bit of this glaze. It's kind of goopy. We have wet wipes, so no big deal. Our glaze is non-toxic. If you touch it, it's totally fine. I'm just lining up my lines because I want them to look as straight as possible. And then I'm gonna take my other hand and I'm gonna kind of straddle this image so that it doesn't move, because it'd be really easy for it to like flip up. So I'm just smearing everywhere that I want to show up. Get his eyes. I'm just pushing a little bit hard. I'm almost like the squeegee. So silk screen is really popular with t-shirt making. So I just kind of try to mimic that motion of like a silk screened t-shirt swipe. All right, and so that looks good. I did not bring a wet wipe over here, so we're just gonna kind of paper towel it. And I'm gonna peel it up, and this is my favorite part. I really like when people get to see just how easy their design can translate onto their piece. It's magical. So, love this. Now, if I wanted to add a little bit of something extra, I could grab an orange. Maybe I'll go with a dark orange. I'm just gonna get the tiniest little dot because I only need enough for his nose. And you can just ideally wait for this to dry, but for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna do it real quick. Right in this current moment, I'm just kind of avoiding the black lines, but if this were dry, you could almost just do like a watercolor effect and then it wouldn't smear the black, but because I just did it, I don't want to smear the black with that technique. So I'm just gonna kind of fudge in the lines, and some of the black that I'm covering will pop through a little bit because I'm just gonna do one coat here, so no big deal, super cute. And then I'm gonna demonstrate how to stamp a snowflake. I maybe should have done a holly berry. You know what? I'm gonna take a moment to walk over and grab our holly berry stamp because I think that might be a better little thing to put on his hat. I'll be right back over. So we have hundreds of stamps. I think we counted at one point, and I think we have over 1,000 stamps. So if you're gonna stamp, lots of cute little designs. I have this little one, I have this little one. I was originally gonna do the snowflake, but wouldn't that be cute? So we're gonna do this. And when you're doing a stamp at Cozy Melts, you put a little bit of your glaze on the sponge or in your palette, and then load your sponge. So I'll do it this way. And then I'm just gonna load my sponge. And then if you see how it's shiny, we don't want it to be shiny. If it's shiny, then you're gonna get way too much on your stamp, and then you're gonna get like a really blobby result. So smeared in with my finger or by like swiping on the palette. And then I'm just blotting. And then I think we're just gonna go here. A little bit of pressure so I've made contact, and then lift up. So real easy, real cute. I don't want to leave it like that because to me it looks a little bit plain, so I'm going to add a little bit of green. Tiny dot, because I'm just doing a little bit. That was even excessive. I'm getting black all over me from stirring the silk screen medium in. So I'm just gonna add a little green. I'm gonna look and see how long this video is when I get done, just to show you how easy it would be to make some personalized ornaments or gifts, even beyond like ornament season, right? You could make little cute things to hang in your window, or things to gift to people for birthdays or different occasions. Okay, so I'm going to dot the tiniest bit of red as my little berry. I kind of like to use the end of a brush for this, but my brushes are not very rounded on the end. So we'll just use this. We do give you a mug of water. I just didn't grab one before I started the video, so you can rinse in between colors. I'm just gonna add a little dot of my red to give it a little fun. Cute. And I wanna give my eyes a little bit of something so that he looks like he's looking down or looking peppy, I don't know. I like his eyebrows. So I've seen people paint these cheeks. I never know what color to paint them, like a blush color. I'm just gonna leave them because I like them that way. But and you know, basically just take your ornaments as far as you would like. I'm gonna give this like a little red attention here. Do I leave it like that? I think it needs to be filled in, but I don't want you guys to wait while I do 3 coats to make that the right kind of color that I would want it to be. But just like that, so easy. Even without the silk screen, this would be such an easy little project. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a couple more of these later this week. I hope that you get a chance to come into Cozy Melts. We have our holiday hours posted at cozymelts.com under the holiday hours tab, and then we will have our new hours going forward to expand our hours a little bit in January, and we will post that on our website really, really soon. So I hope that you found some inspiration here and make time for art.